It's 2 a.m. and you're leaving the library at Bridgewater State University. Final exams are in just 2 days, and this is the third night in a row that you've been out this late studying. You're exhausted. When you return to your dorm, you swear it smells like rotting flesh. But only for a few minutes. You chalk it up to being tired and pass out the moment your head touches the pillow. You wake up to the sound of a girl running down the hall yelling, "Fire!" You scramble to evacuate, but when you enter the hall, everything is fine. Let's explore the Bridgewater State Hauntings. Welcome to Ghost Binkers. Hello, Junior Binkers. I'm Trev, and I would love to believe in ghosts.
I'm Killian, and ghosts are not real, and specifically this ghost is not real.
Yeah. And together we are the Ghost Binkers, and on this podcast we explore real-life spooky stories, and we joke the spooky credibility out of them, a light binking, so to speak. And today we have a guest binker, Trevor.
All right, yeah, 2/3 of the people on this are now Trevors. Let's go.
We gotta add more.
That's a great
Yeah, we can
point.
just start making them.
If I make the mistake of saying Trevor, you two both have to like yell as loud and fast as possible what you want to say over the phone. So like we have to like just you got to race to be the Trevor.
Perfect. Well, I know that it kills you to call Trevor. Like
It does,
not
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I mean, it kills me as well. I go
Yeah.
by Trev, you go by Trevor.
don't.
I assume that is a strategic choice we subconsciously made growing up together.
We chose that.
Have you considered both going by Trevo and just kind of splitting the difference in the middle?
Well, no.
Trevor.
If they do ask me for my full name, it is Trev Vortex.
Yeah, we have.
That's good to know.
Unfortunately, when people ask me my full name, I also say
It's also
Trevortex.
Trevortex?
Yeah, it's tough. It's
That's
very
the name
tough.
I give when I order like a pizza. And they don't understand Killian. I'm just saying, put Trevortex down.
Trevortex.
And they all know it right
It's the
away.
same
They're like, oh yeah, obviously.
So, Trevor, you, I believe, are a ghost believer.
I am. Yeah. I feel so. It's like a small toss up. So like I believe in ghosts, definitely paranormal. I know voodoo is real. That's real.
That's
like that
fair.
came over on a boat from Africa, and they got to the swamps, and they were like, "All right, let's keep doing that shit." And I mean, like, if it wasn't real, like, why would so many white women be into it?
As a white person, it's actually fake. Sorry, we're the arbiters of stuff.
As someone who can take from white and African experience, I think it's cool as hell.
Yeah, it's got a sick name. Like they're like, "What is it, voodoo?" And it's like, okay,
It's definitely like an aesthetic I can appreciate.
Yeah.
Voodoo shit combines incredibly well. Like with anything, like you could be like, "Oh, I'm watching this new movie," and I'll be like, "What is it?" And you'll be like, "Oh, it's cyberpunk voodoo," and I'd be like, "That's fucking sick."
Like, oh, that's
that
sick.
rocks,
I
brother.
love that.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, that sounds like a sick movie.
Sounds like
Oh,
a sick movie.
it's ancient Chinese plus voodoo. I'd be like, "That's incredible." What the fuck?
Damn. But yeah, it's all in like classic Spanish too. Guys, I can't even wait to get enough of that. Like,
Yeah, it's voodoo Zorro. You're like, "What the fuck? Hell yeah, sign me up."
So, we have 2/3 Trevors here.
Yeah.
We also have 2/3 Bridgewater State alumni.
I was gonna say, so
Yep,
didn't
go
want to
Bears.
dox myself immediately. Had my guitar recital in that library. This is not a real ghost, man. It's a ghost, right?
I know
Are you
it's
kidding me?
I know that it's fake because the story mentioned the charcoal smell and didn't mention the cum trees. So
I was
don't.
gonna say the
Yo,
smell is the cum trees.
It's the cum trees.
are the
Like,
smell.
I don't. Like if you had said if you were like telling the story about the ghost and then said you smell cum trees, I'd be like, oh, this is so real. Like this is
The
the
cum
most
trees are
real.
particularly effervescent tonight.
Maybe the thing that I read mentions cum trees.
Maybe if you had been like, oh, you smell rotting flesh. It's a wonderful reprieve from the fucking cum tree smell.
From the cum tree.
You're relieved that it's not the cum tree for once in your life.
Finally.
Spoiler: it does not talk about cum trees.
Do people at home, you think, know about the cum trees?
Well,
Are they popular enough, the cum trees?
I think a lot of people are familiar with the cum tree, but it's called a calorie pear tree.
Yeah.
And its flowers smell like semen.
Some sort of
Like
calorie
one
pair.
asshole.
Not even joking.
No, one asshole 150 years ago basically was like, oh, these trees are really great. They're cheap. They look really pretty. They're awesome trees. Everyone loves them. And then they planted 1 billion of them. And then he was like, oh, also, by the way, they smell like rotting fish piss and also cum for 6 months out of the year. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? So when you walk through Bridgewater, you'd be like, this is kind of a pretty campus. And you'd be like, oh, it also smells like a man is jizzing on me currently.
It's
like, it's
insane.
disgusting.
Like you walk through, and every time you're like, for like maybe like this first solid like 2 weeks, like, what the fuck is that smell? And you're like, I know that smell. And then like you'll hear somebody say, oh, the fucking cum trees. And someone goes, oh my God, they smell like cum. And, like, and then it's like, yeah.
So this episode is actually the first volume of our Bridgewater Triangle kickoff.
Wow.
So we're not gonna
we got arcs on this podcast.
Well, we're not gonna do like every episode from now on until we're done Bridgewater Triangle. We'll like touch back and forth on it.
Right.
But this is the first time we've kind of done a deeper dive into like a place in the Bridgewater Triangle. And not to dox you more, Trevor, but you grew up in Bridgewater, so I felt like this was a very fitting one to do with.
No, that's perfect. I feel like now I'm like an expert.
And we learned on episode 1 that the Bridgewater Triangle covers 700 square miles of. It covers the entire country essentially. From if you're in Massachusetts, you're probably in the Bridgewater Triangle. It's gigantic.
It is a large section of the state.
I like it because it's just like most of Massachusetts is like slightly aware of the Bridgewater Triangle, and then if you like mention like me, if I mention I'm from Bridgewater, they like to like look at me and be like, oh, have you heard of the Bridgewater Triangle? That's like me like walking up to like someone from like New Hampshire and be like, oh, have you heard of Trump? Like they know, like I know what it is. Like it's probably shaped a portion of my life.
Have you heard of divorcing your wife and getting a big truck? And you're like, yeah, I think I have.
I'm the guy who coined it.
Are there any are haunted shapes always triangles? There's no like Des Moines, Iowa oval that's haunted.
Right? The triangle is the strongest shape. So.
It is, in fact, the strongest shape. And I wouldn't want to base any of my ghost stories on an oval or even worse.
A weak-ass square. Do you think that it's really the Bridgewater 2 places? And they were like, shit, we need like a shape. We can't do the line. We can't do the Bridgewater line. We got to put a little something here, a little meat and bones.
Probably a good point.
They're like, fuck it, rain them. Who cares?
Because the last third point, the southernmost point of the Bridgewater Triangle feels very arbitrary.
Yeah.
And I'm sure future Trev will share an image of the Bridgewater Triangle on Instagram or social media at Ghost Binkers.
Well, because like Trevor was saying, people will talk about the Bridgewater Triangle, and so every time I'm on a road, I'm always like, "Fuck, am I gonna get haunted?" Even though I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm like, "What if this is where it happens?" And then it turns out I've delivered 857,000 pizzas in the Bridgewater Triangle. I just never knew I was in the fucking southernmost tip of the triangle.
I've probably seen a puckwudgie at like 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
I know what a puckwudgie is, and they're like contractors. Like they work. They're hardworking people. I'll trust them.
We will definitely have to have you back for the puckwudgie episode.
Oh, good. I can't wait to talk about them and why they shouldn't vote.
So this episode is an episode of many firsts. This is our first remote guest. It's the first, like I said, the first volume of the Bridgewater Triangle, and it's the first non-web-based article that I am going to be covering with you guys. I had to sign up for a library card to download this book. The excerpt that I'm reading is from Haunted Colleges and Universities of Massachusetts by Renee Mallett, but I like to consider her name to be Renee Malay
for sure.
It has to be Renee Malay.
How you say? I found a ghosty. He is a haunting very much. He's making for the haunting in Bridgewater.
Bridgewater State University sits inside the famous Bridgewater Triangle, making it unsurprising that it has become known for its many strange occurrences.
The whole university's in the triangle?
The entire university.
I went there for 4 years. I was in the triangle the whole time. I drove home every night at like 3 a.m. after being out all night, and never once was like, "Oh, I hope I don't get haunted in the triangle."
You got lucky.
Are you kidding me?
You got lucky.
Probably
I spent
close
more
to the
time in the
middle.
Bridgewater Triangle than anybody.
Yeah, you slept in it.
What the fuck?
The Bridgewater Triangle is a roughly 200 square mile area in southeastern Massachusetts that has become famous, though not quite as famous as the much more popular Bermuda Triangle.
Leave him alone.
Over the years for its plethora of paranormal activity. When it comes to the Bridgewater Triangle, we're not simply talking about a high incidence of ghosts or poltergeists. The Bridgewater Triangle has also seen many, many claims of UFO activity, weird lights, and balls of fire.
Though not as many as Area 51, which is much cooler and more alien haunted.
But it's not a triangle.
That's a great point.
Square, gotta be a square.
Probably a
Along
very
with
weak shape.
claims that the area is home to a range of cryptozoological creatures, including a Bigfoot-like ape man creature and a giant pterodactyl-like flying animal known as a thunderbird.
Hell yeah.
God
Fuck yeah,
damn it.
brother. Fuck yeah, brother.
Dude, I just
Another-
I know Southeastern fucking listeners right now are stroking themselves hearing
Oh my
fucking
God.
Thunderbird. Wait till you say Pukwudgie. They will not.
Pukwudgie. I don't like to edge my listeners. I like to get right to the point.
I just love the idea of a
Wow.
Bridgewater dad who's like pissed off because Aroldis Chapman blew a save, and he's like, "Motherfucker, they shouldn't let those kinds of people on my team." And then he goes outside and he just looks and he's like, "Is that a fucking Thunderbird?" And it's just like a big bird. He's just never seen a crane before. He's like, "What the fuck? A fucking Thunderbird?"
It's a fucking
And
Thunderbird.
then like his neighbor steals some sand from his garage, and he's like, "A fucking Bigfoot's out here too? What the fuck? There's some kind of haunted triangle right now."
So, quick plug. We will definitely be going over Bridgewater Triangle cryptids
Oh, hell yeah.
during Halloween season.
As much as I hate ghosts, I love cryptids deeply.
I think
With all my
I
heart.
think that for a special number episode, you guys should just go to the Hockomock Swamp and live stream it.
I'm concerned that the gas there is poisonous, and I'll get like
Oh,
brain
it is.
damage.
It definitely will make you different. That's
Yeah.
all it'll be.
Maybe if we make it to episode 52, that might be the vibe.
Oh, that's his number.
The Freetown Fall River State Forest, which is also located within the Bridgewater Triangle.
Are you fucking kidding me? Bridgewater and Fall River?
Yeah, and Fall River.
It's mostly Freetown,
I
though.
clipped the mic. That's a 25-minute drive.
It's mostly Fall River.
At least
I mean, Freetown.
The Bermuda Triangle gets a pass because it's ocean. It's big. Like, ocean is so big that, like, it's like, oh, it's a scale thing. The Bridgewater Triangle, that's like, you could be in a car for so long and be in this triangle.
You're just driving. You're spending a lot of time just in the. I think I spent most of my childhood
Yeah.
life in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I mean, I went to visit you guys a lot, so I spent
Yeah.
a decent portion of my childhood there
I
too.
do-
Is that why my parents are divorced? Is the Bridgewater Triangle
Yes.
why they broke? I knew it. I knew it.
Yep.
a Thunderbird. "Ah."
Yeah. Split up.
The Freetown Fall River State Forest has had some evidence of being a possible home to a satanic cult. A number of crimes have been linked to this group over the past few decades. Unlike most rumors of satanic groups or other cults, there are actually news and police reports to back these legends up.
They hear a song by the band Ghost and they get scared and they're like, oh, fuck, and they start unloading into people.
Well, yeah.
Fucking
First,
freak
everything
out
you hear, shut the
forest.
body cam off. That's it.
And they shot a teenager and they're like, fuck, I gotta carve a satanic symbol in this tree real quick. Holy shit.
Like, yeah, Thunderbird came through here. That's why his head's blown off.
So this article or excerpt does go into some of the details, but I'm going to skip over that. Basically, there have been like 3 or 4 really high profile murders in the forest. And also there was a wacky incident of an escaped emu running around the forest, and
Cute.
people were kind of scared of
Right.
that.
It's sort of like it's fairly popular for like walking and stuff. It's like it's one of those things where it's close enough to stuff where people are going to end up there, and also like it has like kids hanging around. And
I
shit.
will say I went there with my girlfriend Amy one time,
Right.
and it was probably the worst woods experience I've ever had. It's like really like janky
Yeah. So
for a forest.
without repeating stuff my parents say. My concern there that's been drilled in my head is like you're gonna get stabbed by a person and not like you're gonna be haunted
Yeah.
by a ghost while you're there. You know, like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feels like a place
Yeah.
where because it's kind of secluded but also has paths and is like near city-ish stuff. It's like it just gets like activity, like you said, of people doing
You get
shit.
ganked.
You know,
I mean-
gangs. Also, people fucking around. Like if I'm gonna burn a tire,
Yeah.
you go to that forest because you're like close to it.
Yeah.
You know,
I just think it's weird that like Fall River has a forest. Like that's a weird sentence to say. Like I'm like, no, they don't. They have a battleship and like,
yeah.
and they have a bunch of new construction.
It's like a grimy forest. Like you think about like going out to nature to like escape like the everyday life of being a person.
what are you, Ralph Waldo fucking Emerson? What the fuck are you talking
And
about?
you
Henry
go to
David
the-
Thoreau over here.
You go to
I go to the
for-
forest to go walk around and see bugs. I don't fucking.
There's no bugs. The only bugs are
the
mosquitoes.
doldrums of my cabin provide
There's
me
just
with
a
such
tree
fortitude.
with its branch positioned in its face, and it's pulling on a Marlboro. And it's just sitting there smoking it. And it's like, get out of here! You don't know what it's like here.
There's fucking
we grow
ghosts here,
different.
kid.
Yeah, it's good. Leave. Go Sox. And like that's like,
Can you believe fucking Chapman guy?
That pretty much sums up my experience. While I was doing research for this, though, I did find one story which you know, who knows if it's actually true. But somebody said that they were like dirt biking through the forest and there was like a noose hanging down from one of the trees, like trying to catch dirt bikers.
So I will say that dirt bikers are constantly like, there was a razor wire that was going to kill me. And I assume it must happen because they have their stories, but it does feel like when they're like, girls, if you see a zip tie on your car's windshield, be careful because it's a sex cult. And like, what are you fucking talking about? Yeah,
so long story short, this forest, not a very savory forest, located just over 15 miles away is Bridgewater State University. Luckily, the school boasts a much safer and slightly less colorful history than that of the Freetown Fall River State Forest, but it certainly has more than its fair share of haunts. I'm going to need you guys' help pronouncing this one. The Shea Durgan.
Yeah, you got it.
Shea Durg.
Yeah, Shea Durg.
Shea Durg.
Yeah.
For all the old heads, you can call it the hill.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. You better not talk about fucking like Wagon Hall because that shit was built when I was there, and I'll know it's a fake story.
No, I know exactly where this is leading. I know exactly which hall this is leading.
The Shea Durgan Halls at Bridgewater State University are the site of several hauntings. The 5th floor of this residence hall is home to a can-stacking ghost that is commonly known as the poltergeist of Shea Durgan.
Okay. Come on, man. The tough thing about a college is that like it is full of bored men. And bored men are going to do the stupidest shit of all time. Like
I was gonna say,
a bored 19-year-old boy will absolutely pretend to be a can stacking ghost.
I mean,
that's all he's got going on.
Our friend Bod's.
Oh my god,
the can stacking
for sure.
there.
There's just can stacking. My roommate got COVID, and we just gave him like 3 or 4 cases of polar water, and he couldn't come out of his room, so he just heard him stacking his cans, and then one day they fell over. He's like, "What's nothing to do? You get cans, they stack. Like that's the point of cans."
Yeah, no, and I, like the amount of like, if you leave 3 college-age people in a room with any objects, they will invent a fucking dumb game with it in like in record time. They will be sliding on chairs and like throwing a kickball and knocking over stacks of cans like it's Quidditch or something. Like it is just you cannot convince me.
The other option is like go learn, and I'm not gonna.
I know, fuck that.
So this poltergeist of Shea Durgan, they're out here stacking cans when people aren't expecting it. Most experts in the paranormal would disagree with the spirit's name. While the ghost that frequents the 5th floor has its hand in many poltergeist-like activities, such as the aforementioned can stacking and the rearranging of chairs, most experts have come to agree that a poltergeist is a very different, special kind of paranormal experience.
We're getting into fucking specific classifications of ghost. This fucking rules,
actually,
man.
I think you're describing a custodian.
Has nothing to do with ghosts at all. So again,
This is clearly the work of a lich.
I'm going to paraphrase this part, but basically what they're saying, or the new classification of poltergeist, is that it is more of like a manifestation of energy that is attached to a person.
It's so funny.
Rather than
these men are so horny and so dumb that they are making cans fall over by themselves because of their boner hormones ricketing through the air.
Well, so the air is denser.
Yeah. The cum tree and the male cum is forming a barrier of air.
It's funny that you say that though, Killian, because it is being related to like puberty.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's sort of tough for me to take this one ghost story seriously because this is the first ghost story where the location is entirely a place I was like trying to get laid at the entire time I was there. The first haunting where it was like a core focus.
This is where you met your wife.
I'm hosting Smash tournaments.
No, some people say getting married is the penultimate or whatever the final one is.
Haunting.
Yeah, it's the ultimate boner haunting.
Killian, this is the part that you're going to really like. It is now thought that this type of phenomenon is something more like a spontaneous and uncontrolled telekinesis or psychokinesis.
Yeah, brother.
So I guess poltergeists might be your thing.
Yeah, I also just think that like the funny thing is if you because it's at a college, anything you're saying, someone is going to use to hit on somebody if they hear it. So like if you tell a guy about this ghost, he'll be like, "Yeah, did you know that like it's like my energy the ghost is feeding off of? I'm like such a fucking bad boy. That's what makes the ghost get going."
Yeah, be up on the 5th floor of Shea Durg.
Yeah, I'm actually on the bad boy floor.
The recent change in beliefs around poltergeists has done nothing to change the minds of the students who live and interact regularly with the ghost on the 5th floor of Shea Durgan Hall.
Hey guys, just so you know, it's not a poltergeist up here, so calm down.
Yeah, I'd like to change my whole dorm and change everything about my entire scholarship because there's a can stack that goes upstairs. That's how you just get ejected from the school.
I'd like to transfer to Pope because there's a fucking ghost.
Yeah, please get me out of Shea Durgan. It's not all of the horrible freshmen that I'm in line with.
I was gonna say again, you're just trying to fuck an upperclassman that you're in like a speech 103 with. You're like, yeah, I actually have to be on the same floor as Jennifer because the ghosts will come if not.
And that's it. That's the rule. They said that. The ghost told me that.
Yeah, she makes me carry her books, but I like it. I think it's cool.
Whoever the spirit is seen as an annoyance, though thankfully only a very minor one.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the Shea Durgan Hall boasts at least 2 other ghosts that are much less easily tolerated.
Sorry, one last question about the can stacking ghost.
Yeah.
Does he stack real cans or ghost cans?
That's a great question, and this book doesn't touch on it.
If he stacks real cans, got a pretty easy way to defeat the can ghost, which is just make the boys throw their cans out.
Yeah, what kind of cans? Are these like food cans or beer
I
cans?
was going to say, Bridgewater's a dry campus. I think you'll remember. So it better be
And Shea Durgan is a freshman hall.
Yeah, and so they actually fucking annoyingly check your bag when you go to hang out and play guitar there. If it's real cans, you can defeat the ghost by simply making boys pick up their trash, which I guess is like, you might as well defeat God at that point.
That's true. Do you think the ghost takes the cans out of the trash and stacks them?
He's bringing up a bag from the fucking basement recycling room.
He's bored. He doesn't have anything to do. He's like, I gotta find my cans. Where are they?
Give him a fucking GameCube. Like, Jesus Christ.
The ghost is incredible at Smash.
I would if this ghost is like an older type ghost, I don't think it knows how to use a GameCube.
Damn it.
It's like, there's too many buttons on this godforsaken thing.
Yeah, this ghost is sick.
Why did they make it like this?
Cup and ball catch game. This ghost is incredible.
See, that's what I want to see. I want to. You're sitting in bed, and suddenly you hear a fuck. Shit! It's the cup and ball ghost missing over and over again.
I'm picturing like 100 boys who are drunk, and there's just clearly a ghost playing that game where you drop the ball and pick up all the fucking jacks really quickly, and just going, and they're like, oh, just fucking drinking more, and the ghost like, and they're just like, whoa,
there's someone,
they did it again.
There's someone running down the hall with a hoop and stick.
So wait, it's called the can stacking ghost.
That's just
the
what they're calling it.
Poltergeist.
Yeah,
It's very. Imagine how cool the cup stacking ghost is. Because it would hit the little mat and like do all the little things and then be like, time.
They just yell, a new record.
Oh, we did 3
when it's
and then
clearly
2 and then
not.
1.
I'd be okay with the cup stacking ghost was really bad at stacking, like really bad at the motions.
You just feel like,
just kept fucking up, like fucking shit. No, don't help me,
I got this.
The can stacking ghost is just getting like 2 soda cans stacked before he knocks them over. It's like, shit.
That's why he's always stacking the cans, because he can't get it.
That's why it's so
just
annoying. He sucks at it.
It's like, I don't get it. It keeps going up and coming down.
So that is the most tolerable ghost. But this one, a bathroom in the building, is home to a ghost that can't seem to leave the showers alone. So it's a pervert ghost. All in all, not a big deal. That is
Okay.
Okay.
Unless you happen to be taking a shower that runs hot and cold on its own and suddenly turns itself off or starts up without warning.
I am going to humbly request again that the ghost stories not have the most obvious explanations of all time, which is that Bridgewater doesn't give a fuck if your water's hot consistently because they're a piece of shit school. Man.
They do not care. I'm pretty sure I went to like algebra class with the person that is this ghost.
Their water heater's just probably overworked.
Some asshole flushed, yeah.
Yeah.
Some students have reported seeing a black object moving around the bathroom just at the edges of their peripheral vision. There's nothing like being startled while you're standing around vulnerable and naked in the shower.
They're like, it's really scary the object was black. If it was white, I wouldn't have been scared, but I was really scared. It's the first
every time I go to the bathroom,
see a black person.
Fucking for real. Every time I go to the bathroom, there's a black object in my bathroom, and I just deal with it. It's me. And it's, you know what? After a while, in the mirror, I do get scared sometimes. I'm like, whoa, and then I'm like, I don't have any money. But then I'm just like, okay, it's me.
Brushing my teeth and nudging the black orb out of the way. I'm just fucking elbowing the black orb out of my fucking.
Get out of here.
One of the second floor rooms is the scene of a long-standing legend at Bridgewater State College. It is said that a young woman was choked to death by her boyfriend, who was convinced she was cheating on him. While there's not a lot of hard evidence to back the story up, you can find a plethora of students who will swear up and down that there's a dark energy in this particular room that just doesn't exist elsewhere in the building. Others who have slept in this room complain of being awakened by the sound of an unseen victim choking. Others would be happy to hear only a little gagging.
It sounds like someone's getting choked through my walls. It's like, yes, fucking choke me, yes. And you're like, wow, it sounds like someone's getting choked by a ghost. I'm clearly alone, so everyone else in this door must be, huh?
Yeah. It's like, no, it's your neighbor experiencing breath play for the first time and not having a great time.
Some girl is getting her shit rocked next door. You know?
Wait, they said they people are lucky to hear the gagging?
Yeah, I don't know what that sentence
What the fuck? What the fuck does that even mean?
Wait, hold on. You know what? I didn't, I read the sentence incorrectly. Others who would be voyeurs would be happy to hear a little gagging. No.
All right.
I made that part up.
okay.
I don't get it. I want, like, the first two were so like, oh, there's a can guy and the water's cold. They're like, also, a real murder happened, I swear. I'm like, what the fuck, guys?
The there's not a lot of hard evidence is code for this did not happen.
No.
Allegedly is
Right, yeah.
Sometimes angry voices rise up from the room at nearly impossibly loud levels.
Stop playing fucking Kirby! Fuck you!
I was gonna say, it's definitely somebody fucking yelling at a video
Kirby is
game.
fucking bullshit! Pick a different fucking move!
Bullshit. Why do I keep winning? Why do I keep winning if it's bad?
You know what it probably
get it.
is?
Good grab.
It's just somebody loudly playing their video games to drown out the sound of their roommates fucking.
Getting fucking railed, yeah.
Or getting choked.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Shade Ergen sucks.
Students in Woodward Hall. Do you guys like Woodward Hall?
I got fucking jump scared by the fucking names I know.
Yeah, I Jesus Christ. So this is the one that this is the Woodward one I did know. Like the first time I went to a party on campus, meaning I walked into a dorm that had 6 people in it. They were like, oh, this is Woodward. This one's haunted in the basement. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? They're like, there's just, you don't go down there. I'm like, okay, I don't think it's haunted. I think it's just restricted for students because it's sort of like the bones of the building.
Did you ever go to the basement?
No, I pretty much stopped going to dorms after that.
Students in Woodward Hall at Bridgewater State College could commiserate with those who have listened to the ghostly couple fighting. They have been plagued for years by a ghost that runs up and down the hallways, banging on doors and warning that a fire has broken out. When students leave their rooms, they find no one there and no scent of smoke.
I humbly request one story that cannot be explained by a boy. I would like one.
Yeah, it's every time.
It's not a boy.
Every time. There's a 19-year-old boy who has not came in way too long.
Someone makes ridiculous sex noises from the dorm over in a way that seems too strange. And when you go in there, it's just 3 guys playing Final Fantasy VIII. And it's like, yeah, it's them. They're doing it. They're going, in the room over and over again whenever they see fucking
And then Tim upstairs
squall.
is stacking cans.
Yeah. They're knocking over their cans and moaning.
But Killian, what if I told you the experience is so real that many have rushed all the way outside before realizing there's no emergency?
Yeah, that's every fire drill in college, man. You just go outside and you're like, why the fuck am I outside in my fucking slippers?
That's a great
Yeah,
point.
you're just hoping to see someone in what shitty pajamas they wear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. You wear that shirt.
The ghost is thought to belong to a long ago period in the school's history. Originally, Bridgewater State University was known as the Bridgewater Normal School.
No fucking way!
Back when it was founded in 1840.
What the fuck?
At the time, the school was dedicated solely to educating and training teachers. It wasn't until the 1960s that the school expanded its mission and also its program offerings.
In case anyone thought we didn't actually go to Bridgewater, huh?
Yeah, no, I did. I learned my stuff. I know my lore.
In between when the school was founded and when it started its evolution into the university that exists today, a horrific fire ripped through the campus. The year was 1924, and at least 4 buildings, or roughly half the school as it existed at that time, were completely destroyed. One of the buildings that was reduced to ash and rubble was the old Woodward dormitory. That's pretty spooky. We got a ghost. We got a ghost from that fire.
Right, so she's running around, or he's running around trying to warn people.
Yeah. Few records exist today from the extensive rebuilding process the school underwent after the fire. Students and classes were moved temporarily into the surviving campus buildings, and in the time, the burnt buildings were replaced. It is unclear if the current Woodward Hall was built atop the remains of the old
tough, man.
Woodward dormitory.
To be honest, kind of an important part of the thing for me.
Yeah, this is kind of getting scary. They just don't have the blueprints to the building. They have no paperwork of how the building was built or made. Just
when you ask a landlord for any information, I don't fucking know.
I mean,
I don't know.
It was the 20s. We know how like building standards were around that time.
Hey, see, you want to build it right on top of the old one? Sounds like a good idea.
Slap a brick
Let's
on
keep
it.
all the ghosts in there.
Don't even move all the rubble. We'll use that as the foundation.
I don't know. I've got a headache. Give me that heroin.
Given the similarity in names and the few bits of archival records left, it certainly seems likely.
Okay.
So,
Given the similarity in names,
well, it's old Woodward dormitory versus
New
Woodward
York must have been
Hall.
built on the bones of Old York because of the name. Come on, man. Need a little more juice than that.
Okay, all right. I got some juice for you. Popular legend has it that the unseen girl who sparks the hasty, unplanned fire drills set the fire of 1924 herself.
What? Jesus Christ,
A little
man.
bit of fire play. We got a pyro on our hands.
Damn, we got a little arsonist.
Historic records show us that no definite cause was ever found for the disastrous blaze. Ultimately, the school chalked the fire up to rodents gnawing at heating ducts near the boiler, but it was never a conclusive ruling. It is always possible the girl had something to do with the conflagration, and that's a good word,
dude.
right? I don't even know what that
top
means.
word.
Kick that Trivium song off, dude.
And that the resulting fire covered whatever evidence she left behind. Now, in death, she is trapped, playing out the accident night after night, long after the fire has been forgotten by the students on campus.
Oh, so it was an accident. I feel like they kind of introduced the accident angle pretty late into the story.
Was it an accident?
That's what it said in the last sentence.
Playing out the accident night after night.
But it seemed like she was kind of a fucking arsonist before that.
I was going to say, I thought she was an arsonist, and I read this at least once.
I was going to ask why an arsonist would like warn everybody. I feel like you want everyone to burn up.
Maybe they're in it. Well, maybe they're not a murderer. Like maybe they're in it for the thrill of the burn.
I would wait till the building's
kill.
empty. I would wait till the summer to burn the building down then, sweetie.
I guess that is a good point. It's like, I want to burn this building down, but I don't want anyone in the building to die.
Yeah.
I just want to burn the building. I want to see the flames go up. And as for the long-standing story that Woodward Hall's ghost died in the fire, nothing more than urban legend has grown from years of retelling. All records from the time agree that, miraculously, not a single student or staff member was injured or killed that night, except this is Trev speaking, not the narrator.
Yeah.
Except the girl ghost,
Right.
who died in the
To
fire.
make the story interesting. Yeah.
I guess it's possible that she did not die in the fire.
Maybe
and
she was staying
died
over
later on.
She was staying over someone's dorm and they didn't know about her.
Oh,
And then so
that's a great point.
yeah.
That's a really good
There
point.
you go, Renee. There's your line.
Killian, true believer.
Yeah. Some people said that about me.
Finally, this is all it took.
All it took was one cool Azula pyro girl ghost trying to kill everybody for me to get on board.
I will say, I definitely have snuck my way into a few buildings, not like to break in or anything, but like when you're supposed to tap your badge, someone just holds the door open for you and you don't tap your badge. You're no longer in the record book as being in that building. If the building burned down and I died in it, they wouldn't know I was there.
Right. The person who's with you would
the last thing
say
they
Trev
say.
was there.
Well, maybe they don't care.
No, it's like
about
some
me.
stranger. Like some stranger just like opens it up and you're like,
And that
oh,
is
hit the
the
door.
thing.
And like,
Right.
and they'd be like, oh yeah, sure. Come in here,
Hang out in the
stranger. Like, this is where I
laundry room
sleep.
until the room burns down.
So
Yeah.
I think we can all agree here that the fire ghost is 100% real. But here's the next ghost.
It's definitely the closest to being real.
The
Yeah.
co-ed housing located at the Great Hill student apartments has an extremely unpleasant manifestation. Are you guys familiar with this one?
I've never been to those apartments. I'm assuming it's the one
I
near
have.
the athletic field. Is that what they're talking about?
Yes, it's in between Shea Durgan and the athletic field. They're red for all the listeners. They're like a dark red.
Red for death.
Red for, honestly, blood or bears. I don't know which one yet. It could be either one.
They seemed really cool when I was a freshman. So I was like, oh, you can live in some cool apartments, but no girl ever invited me there, so I had no reason to be there.
No.
That's the only reason I moved around the campus at all.
They were chill. They were kind of chill. Like I had a few friends that lived there, and like going into them, I was like, oh, it's like a house, but like students live here? And they're like, yeah. I was like, I'm like 20, so I'm like, that's crazy. Like, who's like the mom? And they're just like, it's like nobody. Like we're all just like really
we're all
chill and clean up,
brother.
Yeah.
Well, it might not have been that chill. While the students in this building deal with the typical ghostly knocks and stomps that are common in haunted houses, a few select rooms also deal with much less tolerable phenomena. These students say that they are randomly assaulted with the overwhelming stench of death and rot.
Okay, thank God.
I was like, holy shit.
Holy shit. Okay, this is real. Whatever ghost this is real. I went to campus during these.
But also, we're back to the cum trees again, I fear. The cum trees are really ugly.
Someone just has their window open.
I opened my window and I was assailed by the stench of overwhelming cum.
The smell doesn't seem to be linked to any particular activity on their part or that of their neighbors, and it comes and goes suddenly. Many have complained to the school to no avail. It never happens on command, so maintenance workers don't experience the smell themselves, and no one has been able to find an earthly explanation for it. While one apartment is overcome with the smell, the one directly next door won't catch a single whiff of the terrible odor.
Yeah. We are into like 19-year-old boy shits his pants territory again, unfortunately.
It really stinks in this one dorm and this one dorm only.
It's unfortunate that the fire ghost was the lady because we wasted like a good lady haunting. Because like we need a non-boy haunting, and that was we used it on the fire, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Yep. One of the most popular and benign spirits of the Bridgewater State University campus is George. So we're changing subjects now.
Of course. Yeah, we want to get away from that one, the assault as quick as possible.
The stories don't. Yeah, there's not really any elaboration on that one. It's just kind
sometimes it be stinky in there.
The stories don't say who George might have been in life or even how anyone ever decided his name was George, but he tends to hang out in the auditorium at Rondeau Campus Center.
You're ripping.
RCC.
Thank you. RCC. Okay.
I lived in RCC for 4 years.
Oh yeah. Well, you were
That's where the music lounge was.
Music fellow.
Yeah. And so I was just sitting there, practicing guitar all day.
So then maybe you met George at some point.
Probably not. You're gonna say no.
Like many ghosts.
Never met a George on campus.
George has a habit of turning the lights on and off at inopportune times. I like the idea of him turning them on at inopportune times.
Oh, I like the dark. I was sleeping. I was trying to get a quick nap in the music lounge.
So there are 3 issues at the BSU's ghosts, and it's boys, the school is poor, or an actual fire ghost. Like there's just 3 options that it falls, or cum trees. Like there's 4 options that you fall into at BSU, and it's like the houses of Harry Potter. You get to see which one you get put in if you're a ghost, and you hope to God you're in the fire ghost one.
The amount of these ghost stories that are just like, oh, the janitors don't give a shit. They don't care that you're in the room and they just turn lights off on you. And you're like, what the fuck? Is that George?
Yeah, so my house is a cum tree house, and people say that they're kind of wimpy, but honestly, they're actually really kind and caring.
Read another book, unfortunately. Gonna have to tell everyone on this call to read another book.
So George is turning lights on and off. He also likes to move theater props to inaccessible places and has been known to play the orchestra instruments from time to time.
The orchestra instruments?
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen orchestra instruments.
No, I've seen theaters, and the people in the pit bring their instruments. They don't have like a fucking tuba sitting there for George to fucking toot on.
And they don't just have like...
No, it's like my fucking guitar I have to bring.
Borrow instrument.
They didn't let me borrow an amp. I gotta bring my fucking Boss Katana from home.
Just like a community trumpet that just any human being can just come and blow on.
George is
COVID started
George
at
is playing
Bridgewater.
a fucking broken cymbal from 8 years ago and just banging it on shit.
Is there a piano or some sort on the stage?
Yeah,
I will say...
No, they bring those from home.
saying orchestra instrument does kind of like lead to some credibility flaws.
I'm going to be honest that for most musicals they use a keyboard, and the person does bring that from home. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I mean they might have rolled one in from
Perfect.
fucking the RCC, but
Maybe some rental violins.
look,
It does saying orchestra instrument. You sound like an alien who's like learning how to talk for the first time. You're like, I love orchestra instrument, and you check your hand and you're like Campbell's soup.
George loves to go to theater stage and play with props and also hide them in inconspicuous places.
The most important thing to know about George is
Come on, it's not going to be important. Come on.
it's very important is that it seems like these happenings are because of his playful nature, not because he's out to scare or irritate anyone, although that does happen from time to time. Now we have a first-hand account here. Caitlin, a former Bridgewater State University student, said that she felt like George enjoyed the students who went along with his jokes. During her time at the school, she took part in many performances in the auditorium and said that just a few times George came up against someone who took everything he did as an affront.
I'm cross-referencing every Caitlin I've ever met at Bridgewater. Like, is this her?
You could have gone to
Is this
school
her?
with her. And, says Caitlin, George then seemed to go out of his way to make these uptight people the targets of his pranks.
Okay, Caitlin's a schemer. This is Caitlin's
You think
fault.
Caitlin's doing it?
She just said these uptight people.
I think-
Caitlin is 100% responsible for every part of this haunt.
Is one of the ways to spell Caitlin the same way you spell George? Because maybe it's the same fucking person.
Yeah, it's GHAITGE.
Also, since Caitlin's spelling it probably the Irish way, you should do an Irish accent for Caitlin.
Oh.
George came down like thunderbolts. George was thunderbolts in Botany Bay.
Let me try to get into an Irish character. This is kind of hard for me.
A Tony bubble at the front of your mouth.
Okay, this is you can.
I just want people to leave my pot of gold alone.
I was like, he's gonna either get canceled or he's gonna do a perfect Irish accent.
Which one do you think? How do you think people are going to react?
I don't know. Let's ask all the listeners of Massachusetts.
What a great accent, kid. I loved it.
Yeah.
See Chapman blow that fucking save the other night. All they can talk about
Fucking,
is the black guy and the Red
Fucking
Sox they
Jalen.
don't like. It's like the only thing that they can do.
Complain about the ghost moving a prop, and you're likely to have your copy of the script go missing.
No shit, brother. If you're like, hey, drama teacher, the ghost moved that prop. It wasn't me, a drunk 19-year-old.
Well, if you complain, you're likely to have the script go missing. So they're going to take you. The ghost is going to steal your script.
you sure you didn't get kicked out of the play? It sounds like you just get kicked out of the fucking play.
Criticize George's musical ability, and your spotlight will drop at a crucial moment.
That's rude to do, brother. What the fuck? You hear him playing the orchestra
Yeah, what?
instruments. You're like, your cello sucks. He's like, it's a rented cello the school has. The fucking
It's not
cellist
tuned.
takes his away.
And unlike many ghosts, George isn't known for giving up the game when asked politely.
Are ghosts known for that? I don't feel like a single ghost we've talked about on this show so far has given up the game when asked nicely.
So
Lizzie Borden is recreating the murders once a night in her fucking house.
So I have a secondhand story from my mom where she asked a ghost to go away and it did. So we can talk about that when we get into like people we know stories at some point. Still, mostly everyone agrees that everything George does is all meant in good fun, and that if a few people get peeved at his antics from time to time, at least he made a point of targeting the people who most deserved it.
Whoa.
Kids who forgot a prop?
Whoa.
What the fuck?
No, it's the people who
get
are
it.
like,
Uptight people?
George keeps moving my shit.
The next Stephen Sondheim was driven out of Bridgewater because George is being a fucking dickhead to him, and he just wanted his fucking craft to be
wait.
executed perfectly.
Wait, do you think it's just people forgetting their script and blaming George?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't.
No, that can't be it. That's completely
I
reasonable.
definitely do
No.
not think it's two of the horniest 19-year-olds you ever met, who are the leads in plays and both have boyfriends, are fucking each other behind the stage and knocking things over and blaming George. I definitely don't think it's that.
and playing the orchestra instruments as they fuck.
Yeah. They're in some kind of complex cheating love triangle and fucking constantly and blaming George every 20 seconds.
And George is there, and George is somehow in there ruining the play.
George
but
is playing
everyone's
fucking.
uptight.
He's playing Careless Whisper on the fucking school's rented sax.
I like that now.
like,
Bridgewater
George, you
has
suck,
just a
brother.
rented orchestra.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, with these orchestra.
It's just like there's community.
Where else is George going to play the orchestra instrument?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I think that like it's you're in the place where you hear music in your brain. It's like, oh, I hear some music, but like there's no instruments there to play most of the time. They're not leaving their instruments there. Professionals bring their instruments everywhere.
That's fair.
I mean, this is where we hosted our Smash tournaments.
The demo just starts playing when you leave the menu screen on too long, and they're like, "Holy shit, George is ripping apart Luigi!"
Look at George going off right now.
George keeps downloading fucking hentai games off the eShop. Come on, George.
Yeah, they're on sale. They're on sale.
So I think it's fair that we can say that this specific ghost is probably binked because both of you have spent a lot of time in this one, in like this location, and there's no orchestra
ghost, yeah.
instruments.
I'm not trying to be too crass, to put too fine a point on it. I've wandered around all these locations drunk at 3 a.m, and I never saw a ghost before.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a lot.
that is the end of this excerpt, so
Yeah.
we can get into the actual bink scale.
We're banking.
Okay. Killian, I'm going to guess you're at a 1 because this is like all personal firsthand experience.
1 is the minimum, right?
1 is the minimum.
Yeah, I'm at like nearly a sub 1. I'll give the arson girl a 2, I guess.
Okay, that's
Sure.
fair.
She's got a little mystique around her. The fucking can ghost is like saying
That's
it's a 1 is insulting because it is just every man on that floor.
That's fair.
Frankly.
So, Trevor, which ghost do you feel is the least binked in this story?
Least binked means
Most
the one
real.
that I like respect.
Most real,
most.
yeah.
Most real.
I don't know if it's the respect thing.
It's it's definitely the Flamio Hotman, the fire girl.
Yeah.
Like
I
one
agree.
also because like all the other ghosts, they're on like I like where Woodward is on the campus. It is a little bit further away from everything else, and it kind of fucking sucks hard.
Yeah.
So like having like a cool story about it is like a little bit better.
It's a little dog shit, physically. Whereas like Shea Durkin, it's so freshman that like anything that happens there is freshman bullshit basically. Also the fire is a nice like, believing that ghosts are just a powerful form of mass psychosis. Basically, like the can ghost is just a really horny energy. Like I get sort of like the ghost being like it's a fear of dying in a place that is new to you, and it becomes a fucking ghost. Like that's the closest you could get me to convincing.
That's
to
fair.
Thinking there's a ghost there is like everyone is so afraid to die away from their parents for the first time in their life that they make a girl tell them to get out of the building.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would say for a lot of the ghosts, I do agree with you guys. I think the can stacking ghost, the smell one, George, I think they're all
already
a
know
1.
Can stacking
well,
ghost-
I'll say 2 or 3.
If we assume that all the ghosts we talked about exist, the can stacking ghost is by far the funniest one, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has
That's
essentially
hilarious.
eternal life. And he's like, I'm gonna knock these fucking cans over every time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna collect
There he
Diet
goes
Cokes
again.
from this drunk freshman's dorm
He's
and
just-
just
he-
fucking smack the shit out of them.
He's keeping himself entertained.
All of them meet up in a classroom like at the end of the day, and they're like, did everybody do their stuff? And can stacking guys still just like, yeah, you gotta keep doing this. Like, you want to change it up, man? Like, you've been here the longest. And like the fire girl, she's still fucking going
She
crazy.
did this thing where she dragged her nails on someone's door and left like black streaks from her fingers being burnt up.
Whoa.
Do you want to do any of that? He's like, I think I might do like a double pyramid of cans this time before I knock it over. And they're like, well, like the smell guy, he's been doing this thing where the room will smell, but only the top half of the room. So someone in the top bunk will notice, but you only smell above a certain level. So it makes people in the room think they're going crazy. And he's like, ooh, yeah, maybe I'll do like a square can stack, like a cube.
Yeah. It's like, no, you gotta mix it up, do something different. And you'd be like, well, you can't do bottoms. So like, what the fuck else is there?
And then someone's like, oh, well, like,
The choking
the
ghost
choke
is-
ghost, she's been screaming. And then what she's been doing is she's been making it sound like she's getting dragged down the stairs. And he's like, oh, I could throw the cans down the stairs.
Down the
Oh, but I
stairs.
can't leave the fifth
Actually-
floor. That's my can floor. That's where I get all my cans.
I do want the new can ghost to start stacking buzz balls. Like, that would be kind of fucking sick. I think I would respect
That
that.
would be very
person.
impressive.
You walk in, have you heard the buzz ball stacking ghost?
sound-
Like, oh, yeah, he's stacking
The sound of that
balls.
like thin plastic, the air moving out of that thin plastic as it hits the ground and the thin plastic bends. Oh man,
I think to sum things up, I'm going to go with a 5 for the fire ghost.
great. Oh, okay.
For the fire ghost.
I was screaming.
I would
Yeah, that was
I would say 6, but since there's like a lack of any sort of records of really anything that would say that someone died in a fire, I'm going to have to detract a point. But I'll say 5 just because like the idea of someone running down the hall and screaming fire is a very ghostly idea.
Again, I that one for me, I just want a couple more ghost details. You know?
Yeah.
I want to feel
I would like
So-
more details on all of these stories, to be honest.
A counter argument to your 5. Have you heard of the number 4? Because I think that might actually fit a little bit better.
Is that your rating? That's what you're going with?
Yes. No. Like I am still like landing on my like 2. Like it could be a 3, but like not enough people voted 3. Like, but like the 5. Like my 2-3 is existing, and I see your 5, and it makes my 2-3 feel bad. You know?
Aren't you? Are you the ghost guy?
Yeah, not this one. Not they're too close to home. Legitimately, they're too close to home. I wanted some cool, like I wanted one like, oh, this ghost like slashes your tires and kills your mom. Like that would be like a cool ghost.
Trevor.
But no, we got cum trees and can.
Trevor,
I think we have a homeless person.
You are also our like 4th consecutive guest to be like, I really believe in ghosts, and then I say one thing, and they're like, never mind, ghosts are fake. You're right. This ghost is stupid, and it's a cum tree.
Well, that brings us to the end of our episode.
Wow.
I want to thank all of our junior bankers for listening. You can follow us.
BJs.
Follow us on social media at Ghost Binkers everywhere but Facebook. Send us an email. You can share a story, request a story, argue with us, whatever you want to say to us. Feel free. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Please give us 5 stars. And thank you to the authors of these articles. Links to the story will be in the Spooky Specimens. This one specifically, you're going to have to rent from the library, but I'll, or you can buy it. So I'll share links. I'll share links on those. And share this with a friend or 7.
Mm-hmm. Play it on the 5th floor of your college dorm.
Yeah.
In a can.
Use the can as an amplifier because you're too broke to get a Bluetooth speaker.
Roll a Bose speaker playing this podcast through the pyramid of cans you and your friends have constructed.
That's it for this episode. We will catch you on the next episode.
I actually have an issue with the name Caitlin. This is actually me about to start a fight with every Caitlin.
Uh-oh.
All 3 of us right now just pictured 3 different ways how to spell that fucking name.
Yeah.
Everybody has seen so many ways to spell it, and I know that whatever you just read is not the way
There's
that
like
I'm thinking
honestly
about how
like
to fucking
5 to 10 different ways I feel like you can spell it. There's 2
K-A-I.
You're wrong.
K-A-T-E.
Nope.
C-I-A.
Yep.
Or C-A-I, I mean. Like, C-A-T-E. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Trevor, which way do you think this one's spelled?
So I think that this one a like K-A-T-E, like L-Y-N?
I was also thinking
No.
K-E-T-E-L-Y-N, so this girl's got different vibes.
Oh.
Killian, you did list it.
It's a
It's
C-A.
C-A-I.
C-A-I.
Yeah.
T-L-Y-N?
Nope.
Okay.
Wow. L-I-N.
Oh
It's
my
not-
God. You cannot go...
It's
You
K-L-I-N?
cannot go L-I-N with the C start. Some Irish person's going to be like, actually, I spell my name C-E-I-G-H-T. You're like, what the fuck? Holy shit.